Greetings YouTube, this is Toy Customizer wakeangel2K1 and I'm free-handling the camera just for a minute to show the Microman Micro Sister, which was sent to me by anonymouslemons that I may customize it. As you can see, it's basically a box full of accessories with a little figure included. Let's see, we have some swap out hand bits. We have a display stand, we have some information, and we have a lot of material here. Some of it is chromey plastic, some of it is much more pearlescent looking stuff. Some of the accessories are actually made out of rubber. And I'm hoping that this is coming out clear. So the reason I'm showing the accessories off here is because, well, let's just look at the paper. I thought that this was going to be instructions, and basically it shows how a Microman is constructed, basically, but then everything else, it's specifically this Microman, everything else is just pictures of other stuff you can buy. I tried turning it around, and I just got more of the same. There's one page showing how the display stand works, but then everything else is just other figures, including stuff from animes and even superhero stuff like Batman. So, from what I've been able to gather, a lot of these accessories kind of puzzle together, and you have no choice but to work off of the pictures that are given to you. And like more than half of the clothes can only be put on when she is at least partially dismantled. So I'm gonna do a live review of just the little figure inside, and then I'm gonna show her in pictures of what she looks like in all the gear. Alright, so here is your Microman Micro Sister. She's not a very big figure. For comparison's sake, let's get in something that people might be commonly associated with. A 1/18th scale figure, my Zero Suit Samus custom. As you can see, she is a full head taller. So, yeah, that's like the height of like a 13-year-old. If this was 1/18th scale, I think it would be like more like 1/20th scale. However, although not very big, the thing that makes Microman figures very special is their articulation. Micromen are among the most articulated figures that you can possibly find, and their articulation actually rivals what an actual human being is capable of doing. You got ball joints pretty much all over the place, hips, torso, there's a waist in there. And that's the weakness of the Micromen. Although very flexible, they come apart very easily. The thing that makes Micromen great is a lot of artists like to use them as tiny drawing models, because you can pretty much anything that these Micromen figures can do is something that a human can do. So you just kind of set them up for a pose, and then you can draw them in that pose. And it's the next best thing to having a human model do it for you. Wow, some of the ball joints are so loose that the slight vibrations of turning the shoulder joints is enough to knock them off. And of course, you see, you think it's just a regular universal shoulder, but there's actually another, I'm not sure how well this is showing up, there's another little joint inside the shoulder that has some forward and back movement. In addition to a bicep swivel here, a double jointed elbow, and the wrist, which, as you saw, has swappable hands. Ironically, the hand is one of the most stubborn joints. It doesn't actually want to turn. I think it's the rubber that it's made out of, because the hand, see, I twist it and it just kind of snaps back like a rubber band. Her neck is built on a double ball joint, Kind of reminds me of like the SH Figure Arts figures, like the Kamen Riders. She has double jointed knees and a double jointed ankle and ankle rockers that allow her feet to go sideways for some wide-legged stances. Yeah, see? This far out and both of her feet are flat in the ground. And she has a toe joint. I have not seen a toe joint on a figure this tiny before. She also has a knee swivel. So she can actually, I think, sit cross-legged style. Yeah, totally. So yeah, essentially a microman figure is essentially like a person. I don't really recommend them for playing with because they fall apart so easily, but they make excellent displays. If you're an artist, they make great little tiny models. You can just set it up on your desk in whatever pose you like and draw it as if it was a person. And if you're a toy customizer, you can have someone who wants a ridiculously articulated, if somewhat fragile custom of a character they made up, then they'll send you one of these. So yeah, Microman, Micro Sister. It is incredibly tiny. It's somewhat fragile, and it's probably the most articulated action figure. Well, I'd hardly call it an action figure. The most articulated figurine that you can actually find. Of course, I still think SH Figure Arts figures hold together a little bit better. Well, a lot bit better. Plus, you know, since SH Figure Arts are 1/12 scale, they tend to be a lot easier to handle because they're bigger, you know. Alright, so now I'm just going to show some still pictures showing what she looks like wearing her accessories, because I'm sure you don't want to see me fiddling around trying to dress the stupid thing. And at that point, I just got too bloody frustrated. I mean, the thing is incredibly hard to take apart, dress, and put back together again without everything just falling back off. And, frankly, although all those pictures I took you saw was freestanding, but things like this, which do not photograph very well because there's so much bloody chrome on the thing that it just reflects the flash like nobody's business, they just weigh the figure down, so unless she's bouncing on it, then she's not going to stand with it. So that is the Micro Sister. Specifically, this one is called Micro Sister Shion. Like I said, these things are... If you sense a difference in the tone of my voice right now, that's because I just went through the insanity of... I just went through the insanity of actually trying to use this thing. Yeah, this is meant to be dressed, put in the pose that you like, and then just left on your shelf and not touch. Don't even breathe on it, because it'll just fall apart. Oh, God. Why hast thou forsaken me? I have a little figure of an angel, and yet I feel more cursed than ever. However, all these accessories are really nice. I mean, look at that cute little angel wing backpack, and the big shoulder pads, and the arm just fell off, and the shoulder pads can move, and this arm doesn't fall off so easy. That the shoulder pads fall off. Why does everything fall apart? This is not a figure for playing with. This is a great little figure, but the great thing about these figures is that they're so articulated, but when you actually put them in their little gear, not only does the shoulder pads really rob articulation, but it falls apart when you try to pose it. I don't know what to do. This is Toy Customizing wakeangel2K1 signing off. Oh, and by the way, if you were wondering why she looked different in that one picture, she comes with an alternate forehead. You just kind of like pull off her bangs and replace it with this crown dealy. Okay, I'm done.